This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
From Ramsey Network, this is The Ramsey Show, where we help you get control of your money, get ahead in your career, and get on the path to living well. I'm George Campbell, your host, joined today by best-selling author and Ken Coleman. They're the same person. Did you know that, Ken?
Well, that is true. Sometimes I don't believe it.
I love it. Well, we're excited to take your call, folks. 888-825-5225. We're here to help you with your money, your work, your relationships, your life. It's all intertwined here on The Ramsey Show. Sarah's kicking us off in Denver. Sarah, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Huge fan of yours.
Of Ken's, probably, right? You meant Ken.
George.
She laughed nervously, like, sure I did. That's great. Sarah, how can we help today?
Yeah, so I'm actually traveling on a business trip right now, and I've been going through Dave's baby steps. Don't have a credit card. I'm $1,800 away from being out of debt fully, so really excited about that.
Awesome.
On this work trip, I kind of had the worst nightmare flight situation last night where everything was canceled, had to do a hotel, and the connection flight was only 2 hours. It's a 2-hour drive away. So my boss was like, we're going to cancel that, grab a rental car, take it from there to that city, and then just drop it back off at the supposed to be city I'm in airport. So we were going through that, and the rental car company was saying because I had a debit card, they rejected me because the drop-off location was different. And my boss, who knows I don't have a credit card, was like, very frustrated because I don't have a company card, which as of today I do through the situation.
Good.
But he couldn't authorize it. And it kind of, then I had to Uber from that city. Like, it turned out to be a very big fiasco. So I guess my question is, fortunately now I have a company card, and defended why I don't have a credit card to my boss, and was like, this is work, you should give me this anyway rather than expense it.
Absolutely.
But has this been a personal situation just happening to me and I didn't have one? Is it worth it to get a card if this happens rather than have to pay more fees to Uber everywhere?
Well, you're seeing it as a binary option of either I Uber everywhere or I have to get a credit card. I don't see it that way personally, and that's from personal experience. So I understand and I agree that it is not a fun situation for a lot of folks right now trying to rent a car with a debit card. There are some things you have to be prepared for. You got to be intentional about researching, hey, what are the company's debit card policies with, who I'm booking with? So, for example, I rented with Enterprise recently, and they allow debit cards. There's just a 20% hold of your total amount that goes on the card. And so what I want you to do for the future is just do that, research.
Okay, I've normally done that because that's why I did it for this flight. I was actually with Enterprise as well, but they just said because the drop-off city was different, they didn't allow it.
Oh, interesting. So with that specific policy. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I would start to research different companies and see what their policies are on different drop-off locations, because normally you're probably dropping off at the same location, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I don't want to make a decision based off a one-off weird fluke thing, and it sounds super frustrating. I'm sorry you went through that. But I also don't want you to go get a credit card just for this one instance and go, well, it didn't work this one time, so I'm going to go down this path.
Yeah. Sarah, look, it sucks, right? But this isn't going to happen very often. When it does, you had an alternative, and you may not have liked it. You may have spent a little bit more money on the Uber. But again, this is a rare situation, and George is absolutely right. If you go get the credit card for this really rare situation, you're just creating a temptation to actually use it. And so you believe in the principles, remind yourself why you believe in the principles, and also be able to step back from this and go, yes, this was a really nightmarish situation, but the reality is it doesn't happen very often. It did happen. And two things that I can walk away with that convinced me I don't need a credit card. Number one, your boss gave you a company card, so now this isn't going to be an issue anymore. Period. Mm-hmm. On a personal level, could this scenario happen again? Yes, but what would you do? Well, you've got cash and you've got a debit card and you can Uber. It's not the end of the world. You can get where you need to go. So don't convince yourself that you need to do something that you don't believe in for this rare situation.
Yeah. And if you're going on a trip with friends, if that situation comes up, usually your friends will go, all right, I got the credit card. And you go, all right, sweet. You book it. I'll Venmo you the amount, if you're splitting the booking in a situation like that. So there's ways around it if you're with other people. But I get it. If you're doing the Ramsey plan, Ken, this is one of those things where you go, oh gosh, how am I going to navigate this?
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize that there's other ways around it. And when you don't back yourself into a corner and go, well, there's only these two options.
I actually have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you done an analysis, or are you just aware of the difference between a rental car? Because rental car costs have gone up, if I'm not mistaken, versus getting an Uber. So let's say I land in any city. What's the difference between me Ubering versus certainly it's going to be more.
It depends on the city you're going to and where you're trying to head to.
Is it a huge discrepancy?
It can be. So, for example, me and my wife, we went to San Francisco. And, transportation there, we just decided to do Ubers instead of getting a rental car because I didn't want the hassle of driving around the city.
Yeah.
And it was significantly cheaper than if we had rented a car.
Right. And I actually prefer the Uber. I got to tell you.
I don't want to add to the...
deal with
I want to
the car.
relax on vacation. I want someone else to drive me around.
I don't like driving, period.
Ken's got a chauffeur.
Much less. No, I don't.
It's me, guys. I'm kidding.
George picks me up every morning. It's fantastic. It just really builds our bond, and it's great for my blood pressure.
The visual of that is making America very happy right now.
Yeah.
I'm honking outside. The kids are waving.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you
great.
got the electric car.
That's
so
true.
it's a win for everybody.
There's some gas savings there as well.
Yeah, I read the old school newspaper in the back seat, and George just
my
plays
goodness.
cool hipster music. It's a wonderful experience.
Thank you for that, Ken.
Yeah.
Well, folks, a lot of people would rather spend their weekend doing yard work than talk about insurance. I know Ken Coleman's one of those
That's
people.
absolutely true.
I would rather talk about insurance than do yard work, so we are opposite in that regard. But here's the deal. If you don't take time to learn about this stuff, you'll always feel like you're getting ripped off or making all the wrong choices about your insurance. Around here, we think learning about money should be simple and even fun. And so our new 5-day guide to insurance, it's free. It's called Confidence in Your Coverage, makes learning about insurance quick and practical, and you might even laugh out loud a time or two, and that's because I tried really hard to make the jokes funny, Ken.
Yeah, you do.
In this series. I tried. I add a little spice, if you will.
You do. You make it bearable.
Thank you. That's my goal.
Well,
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
insurance, meaning no one's watching this for entertainment. We're doing this because we need to be educated.
Agreed. So if you're going to do it, why not sign up for this guide? It's called Confidence in Your Coverage. Every day for 5 days, I'm going to walk you through a new insurance topic, unpacking everything you need to know to get the right coverage for you. These are short videos, under 3 minutes. I get to the point, I make a joke, and I get out of there.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. So at the end of the series, you're still going to have your yard work. I can't help you with that, but at least you'll know your stuff when it comes to insurance. So go to RamseySolutions.com/confidence to sign up and get started. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com/confidence. Ken, I was just on the phone with Xander Insurance today.
Oh, yeah?
We've had as an advertiser here for many years.
Yeah.
Had a great experience working on a homeowner's policy, and their level of knowledge in educating me on why they're making the decisions, saying, hey, here's what I think you should do, here's why. It gave me actual confidence that I was making the right decisions with really big financial moves like your homeowners, your auto policy. So sign up for this. It's going to really help you get more confident. That's what we're here for. RamseySolutions.com/confidence. Open phones this hour, 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
George Camel, joined today by Ken Coleman. This is The Ramsey Show. You know, Ken, we talk a lot about how your greatest wealth-building tool is your income. And you just got off doing the Ken Coleman Show, helping people increase their income through their career.
That's right.
Which is awesome.
Well, yeah, so we want to take those calls today because, again, we are staring down the barrel of a recession and people are starting to freak out about it. So how can we help you recession-proof not just your career, but just your income? And there's a way to do that. And so obviously, as a part of Ramsey Solutions, I'm the guy that's trying to help you with that bigger shovel. If that's getting out of debt, or how do we plan for potential job layoffs, all these things that are legitimate concerns for people. I'm here today to help you in those areas. If you're in a toxic environment, you want to get out, we'll change your name, your location, all that, so that we can help you out. So I'm here today, obviously, to chime in on all the money and life calls, but your work, your income is a huge part of your life.
And a lot of people there's been a shakeup this year, last year, with people going, I don't know if this is what I want to do. I don't think this is the right career field. I'm not making what I should be making in this market. And so a lot of people are shifting things with the remote work. They're going, I can live anywhere and do anything. Right. What would I do?
And we've seen a lot of people take jobs to get a much bigger paycheck, which is obviously makes a lot of sense. But now they're like, oh, we changed it. And yeah, that wore off. And I really want to enjoy my life. And if you think about how much time we spend at work versus anything else we do in our life, it is the largest percentage of what we do, and you need to enjoy it. And we can help you do that, making more money and more impact. So we'll take some of those calls today. Any of those calls we can help out, let's do it.
888-825-5225. Irina calls us from St. Louis. Irina, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, guys. Pleasure to speak to you both.
You as well. How can we help?
So my husband and I, we have kind of a dilemma. We live in St. Louis. We are debt-free, but our house, we do have 6 months of emergency funds set aside. We would like to move to Florida within the next year or so. The house that we currently live in, we love the house. We just finished doing the updates. We absolutely love the house, but we came to a realization that we do not necessarily love the location. Not because it's a bad location, it's absolutely not. It's a great location, but it's a little bit too far from where we like to be. So the dilemma is kind of like, we're like, okay, do we want to sell our house now and possibly go rent for that next year while we're trying to get ready for that move? Do we sell and maybe reinvest into something smaller for the time being, still locally, but closer to where we would like to be? Or do we just don't need to do any of that and basically stay in the house until we are ready for that move out of state?
A lot of options here. So you're wanting to move to Florida, but there's no real urgency around this move?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I'm in your shoes, there's no real reason to sell right now and rent and do all of that unless you're actually moving. I know you're saying you want to be closer to some things. I don't know if that's more of a different district where there's more going on, restaurants and things like. Are you kind of tucked away in the suburbs right now?
Yeah, like pretty much furthest. It's a great area. It's a great location. It's a great subdivision. Like everything about it is good, but it's just far.
And you just finished all these updates too.
Yes.
I mean, if I'm you guys, I'm just staying put, and I'm going to use the fuel of wanting to get out of there to then move to Florida sooner. What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, I want to dive a little deeper, Irina, in what's driving us to Florida. Why that destination? What's that future that we're looking forward to? Explain that to me.
Basically, we used to live there, and ideally, we want to kind of grow. I mean, we have one son. We're planning, second kid. Ideally, that's where we want to end up. Also, my parents live in California, so it's not necessarily ideal for them to move to Missouri, but we want to be all closer. So we all agreed that Florida would be a great destination for all of us.
Yeah. So okay, and then what makes you feel ready to move to Florida? What would that look like or feel like? Okay, now we're ready.
So I'm self-employed. I work in real estate, but I've been building my other side of business in real estate industry, but that would allow me to work remotely. So it's not necessarily at the point where like, okay, we're good to go. Income is completely 100% guaranteed, but it's going well. I'm working on my clientele, so that's where we're kind of like, okay, we can do it right now, but ideally, I want to be in a place where I can 100%, pretty much, as much as I can guarantee my income to continue flowing and being from a different, not being local, being, working remotely essentially.
Sure.
And my husband at that time would be able to get a good position that he's working toward, also in Florida as well, in the industry that he's working in.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think George is right. I just think you get to decide. There's never an ideal time. I certainly understand what you mean. We'd like this to be true and this to be true and this to be true. But life can sometimes throw us some curveballs. Isn't that true, Irina? So, this is a good time to sell. But, I will also tell you that
that's where the dilemma came from.
Well, but that's what I thought might be there. So, George, we were talking about this earlier today.
With real estate.
With our real estate team. So, the concern is that because of a impending recession, which may or may not happen. Some are predicting that it'll happen. Who knows? And that interest rates have gone up, that all of a sudden housing is just going to drop precipitously. And 6 months from now, which might be ideal for you, you're going to be like, oh, it was a bad financial decision. And all the real estate experts in our building, plus I saw the Caldwell Banker CEO on CNBC earlier this week saying that right now we still see a huge demand. We have a gap of 5 to 6 million houses in this economy where that's what the supply would need to be to just get back to a normal area. So the point is the demand is still high. What you're hearing is, and maybe seeing in your area, is that the listing price for some houses is scaling back a little bit. But that doesn't mean that housing and the gains that people are going to make are just all of a sudden dropping through the basement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So don't panic.
Well,
you're still going to make good money.
Me being a realtor, I know it's like I've been saying all along, I don't think it's going to drop out, but it's basically kind of, we felt like, okay, this is a peak and we potentially could get a lot, but also that's the whole aspect of like, well, shoot, we live so far from everything, like we just kind of like, we just live far and we don't, we're no longer in love with this location. So that's where like, do we need to do this move, Mom, temporary or not at all?
If it's me and I would, if I had already determined what you just shared, that you don't love where you live, I'd make the move because you're already set up. So I think it's up to you.
I think if you make the move, it will delay the Florida move further.
That's
because you're not going to move to a different house.
Also worrying.
Yeah, and then you move a year from then. I mean, there's a lot of costs involved with this. There's a lot of hassle involved. So I think if you move, you're probably planning to stay there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before Florida, and that's okay. But just paint a realistic picture so you're not frustrated if you do this.
Right, be aware of it.
There's not really a wrong decision.
Okay,
it just really depends on your expectations of the future.
Yeah, that's right. And I think style and temperament work into this as well.
Yes.
I'm a rip the Band-Aid guy off. I mean, I just am. Like, once I arrive at a decision, it's like, okay, I'm going to make it.
Well, what happens is sometimes you spend a longer time just percolating on this decision than the actual time it would take to make it and do it.
And act on it, yeah.
And act on it. So I think there's a lot of wisdom in that as well.
Yeah.
But we are seeing some crazy things in the real estate market, Ken, and we're pumped to do this free live stream event coming up.
And the
all around this.
response has been amazing. Tell these folks about it.
Many, many thousands of you already signed up. So on July 14th, we are hosting a free live stream event called Real Estate Reality Check. So myself, Rachel Cruz, Dave Ramsey, we're going to walk you through what's going on in the housing market today and explain how it works. And here's the deal. The housing market is not going to crash. And we're going to show you why. This is not just our opinion. We're not just out of touch here.
Yep.
So we want to make sure you join us for this. It's completely free. Maybe you're looking to buy or sell a home. You're wondering if it's going to crash. What's causing all of this? July 14th is when you're going to find out. Go sign up. RamseySolutions.com/reality check.
And we just added this morning, I'm going to be doing a 20-minute pre-show with sock puppets. You don't want to miss that.
You know what, Ken? Someone's going to sign up and be upset that is not true.
Okay, I'm jesting.
That's a separate live stream if you're interested.
No sock puppets.
DM Ken Coleman on Instagram. Let him know. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Ken Coleman is my co-host today. I'm George Camel. You're listening to The Ramsey Show. You know, Ken, we have a Venn diagram, and my world is, it's money stuff. And your world is career, but also you love sports. And so today, the Venn diagram finally meets in the middle. Because we have an article here that is connecting the sports world to the money world.
Oh.
You ready for this?
Oh, this is fascinating. I'm very excited.
Here's the
about this.
headline from firstsports.com with a Z. Take that with a grain of salt.
Again,
here's the headline.
Folks, you be very gentle with George because he's entering into completely unknown territory right now.
If I biff some sports names, please forgive me.
I'm here for you.
All right. Here's the headline.
Okay.
Quote, bad investment. Odell Beckham Jr.'s $750,000 contract just worth over $35,000 after Bitcoin plummets.
Well, so that tells me he had a contract that was Bitcoin infused?
He signed a one-year deal with the Rams that can pay him up to $4.25 million, with the majority of the deal being heavily based upon incentives. And it was ultimately a one-year, $1.25 million deal with a $750,000 base salary. $750,000.
How much of that was Bitcoin?
It looks like the $750.
Wow, that was a bad move, OBJ.
Here's what it's saying: up to
By the
$3
way,
million
that's the
incentives.
same guy.
OBJ.
People
okay.
call him OBJ in this football world.
This helps me out immensely.
I didn't want to confuse you.
But yeah, it says Beckham took his salary in Bitcoin.
Oh, that's
He took to Twitter to announce his bold move to take salary in crypto.
Yeah, sure.
He said, "It's the start of a new era. I'm looking forward to the future." However, OBJ's move just backfired because according to sports business analyst Darren Rovell, did I get that right?
Yeah, very
there
good.
Go.
Very good, George.
The Beckham contract is only worth $412,953.
Wow.
Here's the sad news. After factoring in the taxes, which is based on the original amount, OBJ will be left with just over $35,000.
So he only got a bit of that contract. Hey!
I see what you did there. He'll be here all week, folks.
The dad jokes come out of me every once in a while, folks. I apologize.
James is one more dad joke away from muting you, okay? Be nice.
James, I apologize. But it was kind of relevant. Bitcoin, bit of his contract.
I loved it.
It's unfortunate. Thank you very much.
Now, this is happening across the board. We can pick on OBJ all we want.
So you're a big crypto. You follow this.
I follow the news.
You're a bit of a. What would I call you? You're a bit of a crypto.
Crypto curious?
Yes, you're crypto curious.
Yes. Well, I get questions about this a lot from our fans, from our audience, going, "Hey, is this a good idea? Or I saw this. What?" So I've had to look into it. We did an episode on the fine print all about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And here's the thing. I'm not mad at Bitcoin. Every time we talk about cryptocurrency, the crypto bros come at us,
and
they're angry because we don't understand, and it's the future, and the blockchain is the technology is amazing.
Seems like a scary bunch.
They are very
the crypto bros.
I will say this: they make the MLM folks look soft, and that is saying something.
Wow, multi-level marketing. A shot. George is firing shots.
I don't want your Tupperware. Okay, I got plenty of it.
So is it because the reason that this is so scary is because it is so wildly speculative in that it's volatile, up, down, and so
Well, it's down 60%. I mean, it keeps crashing down. And listen, it'll probably go back up, but then it's going to crash immensely. And this roller coaster, it doesn't have the proven track record.
Can I tell you one of the problems, George? You got Matt Damon. You got Matt Damon telling me that I'm not brave if I don't jump into this.
Be brave, Ken.
I'm watching him, and he's talking about the fortune favors the brave, and I'm sitting there on the couch watching.
I love Goodwill
Jason
Hunting as much as the next guy, but
I'm
celebrities pitching crypto.
This is my point.
And even the media outlets, Ken, have been going after the celebrities because there's no recourse for this. Celebrities are just blindly endorsing crypto for oodles of money, and then when crypto crashes, the celebrities aren't out there saying, "Sorry,
it doesn't
I was
matter.
wrong."
Yeah.
So
the
this is
point
a big problem.
We're not anti-cryptocurrency. We're just saying this is not a smart financial move right now, given the fact that it is relatively brand new. I mean, this is still in its infancy, if you will, and regulations and the fact that it's not recognized across the board. A lot of stuff here. Be careful.
Be very careful, especially if you are a pro athlete listening, which I'm sure there's so many out there.
Wow.
I mean, if Dave said, hey, Ken, I'm going to start paying you in Bitcoin. Now, hell would have to freeze over for that to happen.
Yeah.
But if that happened, I would go, no, I'll take money. I'll take real dollars in my bank account.
I think my first reaction would be, what did OBJ do? No, I'm kidding.
There we go.
Hey, this is very exciting. We got to talk about Bitcoin, and you learned who Odell Beckham Jr. is, which is fantastic.
Big day for me.
Usually, I learned something, you learned something. This is great.
All of my sports knowledge comes from the original Space Jam movie, Ken, as you know. So in my mind, Patrick Ewing is still hot on the courts.
Yeah. We were actually talking about this pre-show today, and we said we were going to talk about this. And George says, well, Ken, I need you to pipe in because I don't know much about sports players. And so I want to leave that with the audience.
That's what they're called. Not all of them are athletes. I mean, have you seen soccer?
Sports
They're actors,
players.
not athletes. I went to my first soccer game,
that's
National
not true.
Soccer
You're going to
Club.
offend a lot of people. Soccer is a worldwide sport.
That's true.
Careful, George.
I'm just saying, I went to the Nashville Soccer Club game, and there was a lot of acting.
Did you sing and yell with the group the whole time?
They were all yelling different things, profanities and such. I'm not going to be involved in that. I have class.
I do love the Vuvuzela. You know that?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think it's called a Vuvuzela, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, that noise alone.
I love a Vuvuzela.
That's reason to never go to a soccer game.
I just said it 3 times in 10 seconds.
I'm hearing Vuvuzela is the...
Is it Vuvuzela? All right, we'll look it up. We'll get to the calls. We'll come back with that.
For the 3 people who are still listening to the show, thank you for joining us. We're going to take a call now from Joseph in Henderson, Nevada. Let's do it.
Nevada?
Nevada? Are you a Nevada guy?
I think it's Nevada.
Let's ask Joseph what he thinks about this.
Yeah,
Joseph, are you Team Nevada or Nevada?
How's it going? I am in Henderson, Nevada. Yes, very close to Las Vegas.
Nevada.
Maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Nevada.
All right. What's your question, Joseph?
Hi. So I'm 17 years old. I'm just starting my life.
Hey, speak directly in your phone for me, Joseph. You got a little squirrely.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm 17 years old, and, I just got out of high school, graduated, and I have a total of $3,000 saved up, and my friends are pressuring me now to get a credit card. And my uncle's a huge Dave Ramsey fan, and I started listening to Dave Ramsey behind that, and then when I get off track, I listen. But everyone's pressuring me now to apply for that Nevada State Bank City double cash card or whatever it is.
Oh.
And I'm very strict on no, I don't want to do that. Even my own mom has been trying to convince me of, you should apply for a credit card, and they don't have a very good, 10 years ago, now they're much better. Granted, we're in a way better place than we were 10 years ago. We were in so much credit card debt. We didn't go on vacation for 7 years. We paid it all off, and now all we owe is our house mortgage, and that's all the debt that we have left. But, yeah, they're all pressuring me, and I just don't know how to respond to them. And then another thing is, I want to be on the path toward not having to waste 10 years of my life being stuck in this miserable desert, not going on vacation. So I want to be able to be wealthy.
All right, so Joseph, let me make sure I'm understanding. You're convicted and convinced because of that conviction that you're not going to get the card. You just want our advice on how to tell them to shut up?
Pretty much, and how to stay on track. Yeah.
Well, number 1, sell the friends. That's an easy start right there. Dave's always saying sell the car. I think we got to sell the friends.
Oh,
there we go.
Gosh, George, you can't sell people.
Well, in the words of Ken Coleman, you tell them to pound sand and kick rocks.
Yeah, so here's what I would say, Joseph. So, Joseph, is there anything in their pitch to you that is tempting you? Anything about this? Tell me. Because that's what I think you're getting at. You're like, I need to tell them, but then I need to stay on track. So what's tempting you? Tell me about this double points credit card, whatever. What's tempting you?
Well, the biggest thing that tempts me out of everything is the fact that, the whole issue with the credit score, because my brother brought up the fact that, when you buy a house or when you're
all right. So Joseph, I'm interrupting you because we only have a few seconds left. George, tell them about the credit score.
So, I'll just steer you to this podcast episode we did on the fine print called The Dirty Truth Behind Your Credit Score. I want you and all your friends and your brother and your mom all sit down and listen to this because I'm telling you, I've lived without a score for many, many years. I bought a house without a score. I've paid cash for cars. You can live without a score. I want you to build wealth not your credit score. That is going to be your long-term plan to success, my friend.
Joseph, you just heard it from No Score George.
That's what they call me in high school.
That's what we call it.
Mostly because I did not score in any sport, Ken. We brought it back around.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Brought it around.
Joseph, here's the deal. You know what you want to do. You want to know. You know the life you want to live. Just say thanks, no thanks. I don't want to talk about it. You're making me feel uncomfortable. Fake the snowflake move. Everybody takes care of the snowflake.
Open phones, 888-825-5225. Joshua joins us up next in San Diego, California. Joshua, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Absolutely. How can Ken and I help?
Hey, so I'm 37 years old, and I am getting near the millionaire mark.
Woo!
I'm working towards it. Should be there by the end of this year.
Way to go, man.
And thanks. Hey, so my question is really on the baby step 7. So, my self-worth is mostly in real estate. I moved from Texas to California. Some people say I reverse immigrated for some people. And due to necessity, most of my self-worth is in real estate. And now I'm at the point where, I want to...
You mean your net worth, right?
Curious.
Yeah, you keep saying self-worth.
I was like,
I'm
oh my
man,
goodness.
I got to give this
Joshua,
guy a hug.
you're worth so much more.
Yeah.
So, my parents, they're immigrants, and they said the way they do things is, invest in CDs and insurance. They're more traditional.
Oof.
And I want to talk to you guys to see, when I was in Texas, I was more on retirement, mutual funds, 401k, IRAs. But from here, building out the wealth from a different scale, I want to see, are there different methods of approaching this?
There's different methods, and there are better methods. I'll tell you that much. CDs and insurance are not your path to wealth. So your parents got sold to by some salespeople at some point, and they now believe that. And so I'm glad you're open to something else, because the way you're going to build wealth is partially how you've been doing it, which is building up your real estate portfolio. And you got a paid-for house, or are you close?
It's 60% equity. But
okay.
My Texas house, I had it paid off back then, yeah.
Cool. And then you moved to California, you took on a mortgage, and you're working on paying that off?
I am. It's going to take a while, yeah.
Okay. So what's your net worth today?
About $950.
Awesome.
Nice.
Way to go, man. So you're asking us, how do I build wealth the best way, the right way?
Yeah, I think California might be a little different than other states. Potentially.
Well, the path there isn't any different. It may look different because of, the housing, but you're going to pay this house off. You're going to invest just like every other American should invest. And I want you investing 15% of your income into retirement accounts like a 401k and an IRA. Do you have accounts like that available to you?
I do, yes.
Okay. So until you pay off the house, I want you investing 15%. Once you have the house paid off, you're in baby step 7, then the world is our oyster. We can increase that investing. You can save up and pay cash for real estate. But either way, I want you investing in mutual funds and index funds. That's it.
Got it.
And real estate, obviously. So those are going to be your best paths to wealth, not CDs, they're talking about permanent life insurance and using that as an investment. We're not doing that. Do you have a term life policy?
I do, yes.
Okay, great. That's all you need on the insurance side for as far as life insurance goes. So as long as you're investing into good growth stock mutual funds, we recommend diversifying across 4 types: growth in income, aggressive growth, and international. And if you do that over a long period of time, this is exactly how I invest, how Dave Ramsey himself invests, and you do that in your 401k. We love Roth. That's the best option. Do you have a Roth option at work?
Not at work, but personally, yes.
So you have a Roth IRA?
I do, yes.
Okay, and you're not above the income limit to contribute to that?
I might be. My salary increased quite a bit recently. Yeah.
Good for you, man. So that may not be an option. You can do things like a backdoor Roth. And do you have a financial advisor you're working with currently?
I do not.
Okay. That is something I would recommend, to have that kind of coach in your corner. I've got one. Dave has one. Rachel has one. Ken has one. And this is someone who's going to help you along the journey, to help you understand what to do, what you're investing in. They're not going to make any decisions for you, but they're going to educate you so that you feel confident in those decisions.
That'll be great. Yeah.
So you can jump on RamseySolutions.com and click on Trusted Pros, and they're called SmartVestor Pros. We have them in your area. You can connect with one, and they're going to help you figure out what that looks like for you with your income in your state, all of those things. But, man, you're doing so well. 37 years old, almost a millionaire, Ken.
Yes.
I like this.
Very exciting stuff.
I love it. Thanks for the call, Joshua. Dennis joins us up next in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. That might be my favorite city name yet. Dennis, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How can we help?
I'm 21 years old, and I'm looking at going into college, paid mostly by work, and I was wondering if that's a good idea with recently just purchasing a vehicle and still having rent to pay for and all my other bills.
So what's the question in there? Should you keep working while in school?
No, the question is, do I push out college later on after I've got money saved up for my life expenses?
But you said they're paying for it.
Correct.
They're paying for it in full. So how does that increase any expenses you have?
Because I would have to pay, I would not be making any income during this.
Oh, you'd have to stop working.
So your company is going to pay for your tuition, but you would be a full-time student. So not any income, but they are paying tuition.
Correct.
So what have you determined how long will you be in school? Is it a traditional 4-year path or shorter?
It's a 2-year path.
Okay, so have you run the numbers on what your living expenses will be?
Yep, it's going to be around $1,500 a month.
And how much do you have saved towards that goal?
About $2,000.
Okay, what's the total number? I guess what's the total number over that 2-year period that you need to save up?
I have not done the math about that yet.
Start there, right? So however many months, you're not going to be in school 12 months a year, true or false?
False.
Okay. False? You're going to be in school 12 months a year?
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
It's true, I'm not going to be in school
All right.
that long.
That's right. So let's just say you're in school for 9 months. So you got 3 months where you can work. I don't know if that company that you're working for will pay you to work during that time, but you can go make money somewhere else because you're not in school. True or false? True. Excellent. So you start to take what my living expenses are, but I'm going to be working during the 3 months. You just got to play this all out. So now you know the number that you need to save up. And what's the plan after you get the 2-year education? Is it a promotion with your current company?
Correct. I'll be a full-time diesel technician.
Cool.
Oh, fantastic.
Now, are you on the strings for anything? You have to sign a contract saying you'll work there for a certain period of time?
2 years, yep.
Good.
Okay.
And you're all in on that, right? You're not going to get 1 year into this to start resenting the fact
you got to
that
commit to this.
like this is a joyful commitment because they're paying for your education.
Yep, I'm loving this company, so I'm not too afraid of that.
Fantastic.
Okay. How much debt do you have?
About $6,000 on my truck, but that's about it.
Okay. Because it sounds like you're concerned that you're not going to be able to afford your expenses, and that's partially due to your payment on the truck, right?
Correct.
What would the truck sell for today if you sold it?
I currently have a lien through the bank.
So you can't sell it?
Correct.
Well, how long would it take you to pay off the truck? You went after it with everything you got.
Around this December.
Okay. I'm wondering, can you pay the truck off and then start school?
Yeah, that's a possibility. I could just push school out later.
I think that's going to take away some of the stress that you're feeling about losing this income while being in school. What's the truck payment?
It's $500 a month.
Yeah, but you still got to have income to pay for your living expenses, so you still got to run that exercise out, right, George?
Yes. But I think that extra $500 a month that you get to keep is going to help avoid a lot of stress and anxiety.
Yep.
So I'd talk to your company and say, hey, here's the deal. I really appreciate you putting me through school. I want to wait until my truck's paid off so that I can afford my living expenses.
Yep.
Here's my plan, and just be clear about it with them.
Yep. And double, triple check what you think you're going to need to live comfortably during that time. You know what I mean? You got to really think through it. You don't be stuck eating ramen noodles that entire time.
No.
Although I ate my fair share of ramen noodles during college.
Oh, boy. And it shows, Ken. It shows. You're very frail.
Thank you, George.
Well, hey, Dennis, thanks for the call, man. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. My thanks to Ken Coleman, my co-host, all the folks in the booth, and you, America. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with you before you know it. Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
From Ramsey Network, this is The Ramsey Show, where we help you get control of your money, get ahead in your career, and get on the path to living well. I'm George Camel, joined today by Ken Coleman, and we are taking your calls, America. The number to call is 888-825-5225. Lenore kicks us off in Austin, Texas. Lenore, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Did we get the name right?
Thank you for... Yes, you did. Thanks
Wow.
for taking my call.
Happy to take it. How can we help?
Well, I've been listening to the show for quite a while and been wanting to call, and today I was extremely motivated to call because something came up, and I've been wanting to call and speak regarding this topic. My company, I just found out today that I was just let go July 22nd, and I've been with my company for about 23 years or so.
Oh, my goodness.
And
so sorry.
It's an investment company. Yeah, I kind of expected it. I'll tell you why. But my main question is, I just want to, prior to this happening for the last couple of years, I've kind of wanted to do something different for the last part of my career working life. Mm-hmm. I'm 57, and I just wanted to, I don't want to stop working right now because I enjoy working, but I want to do something that is something that's coming from my spirit that I enjoy and not just necessarily my head.
And what is that?
I work at an investment company.
What is that?
Right now?
I think you know, or you've wondered about it enough. Give me a description of it. Don't worry about how pretty it sounds.
Well, I'm not actually. I know what I used to want to do, but I don't think I'm.
What was that?
Wanting to go through all that right now and counseling or psychology, but I really don't think I'm prepared or want to go back to school for that.
Sure.
I was interested in getting my real estate license, something that I could work from home, mm-hmm. And do well because I know how to talk to people. I have excellent customer service. I work in an investment company, and I actually place trades all day and deal with other dealers, back office. I do not talk to clients or shareholders. And we just talk money and trades and this and that, and I'm just kind of tired of it anyway.
Sure.
But this company recently, since last December, required us to get the COVID vaccine, and for my own reasons, I did not want it. And it's a commitment where I do trust God, and I know He's got something for me, but they allowed us to submit an exemption request twice, mm-hmm. and it was not approved.
Okay.
So they did notify me today.
So
anyway.
Well, Lenore, we're sorry about that. I'm glad that you had at least some kind of warning, so it's not as shocking.
Right.
But listen,
Right.
you've been with these folks a long time, and I think the one thing I want to encourage your heart on is that you haven't lost your value, and you have developed over the 23 years with this company and whatever work you did before. You've developed some very valuable experience, and you certainly have developed some skills. And so what your exercise is right now is I think that there are some really clear clues in the fact that a long time ago you were interested in psychology or counseling or therapy. And so I totally understand at this stage in your life you don't want to go to the schooling that's necessary for that. But it doesn't mean that you are completely abandoning what's behind that. And you take the previous desire to maybe do some form of counseling or psychology type work, and you combine it with the fact that you just said, what I do all day is pretty much numbers, and I'm not customer facing, I'm not dealing with people. And you combine the fact that you mentioned real estate, which would allow you to have flexibility, of course, working from home. But this is the theme that is emerging in all of these things is people. You love working with people, and in the next season, the final work season of your life, you want to work with people. Is that true?
Correct. I do.
Okay.
And I also want to work with people, and what motivates me too to work at least 10 to even 15 more years, because I'm young. I consider myself young, but I really want to put more towards my retirement as well, because I don't have much left on my home.
Good. So here's what I want you to focus on, okay? And I'm going to give you my Get Clear career assessment at the end of our call, and I want you to take it. It's about a 20-minute assessment. It's going to allow you to see what you're most talented at doing. And none of this should be a big surprise, but it will confirm for you, this is where most of my talent is. And I think you're probably going to score high on people talents. So that's what you do best. And then it's going to help you see the type of work that you love. And I think it's going to be very people-focused type work. We call that passion. And the last piece is what motivates you when you do work. And we call that mission. What missional results? And for you, I bet you're going to score high on service and influence. Okay, so I'm going to give you that to take on your own time. But here's the exercise. Even when you get your purpose statement that this assessment will spit out for you, I want you to look at it as a high-level job description, and you're looking in on who are the people I most want to help. So if we look at real estate, I want to help new home buyers or people that are looking to level up in their home purchase, their place of living, and it has memories, and it has safety, and it has all these things tied to it. If that's the problem you want to help people solve, great. But if there's another problem that you want to help people solve that pulls and tugs at your heart more than anything else, you've got to pay attention to that. And you go, okay, now, where in the workplace, in the marketplace of jobs, can I help the people I most want to help? Solve the problem that they have with the solution that I can get connected to and fired up. So I just want to encourage you on the process. That's why I asked that question. What have you wondered about? Who are the people you most want to help? So I'm going to put you on the spot. If you don't have an answer, that's fine. We'll give you the assessment, and it's going to come clear. But I want you to just don't think for a moment. I want you just to react. You willing to do that?
I am, yeah.
All right, from the top of your heart, here's what I want to know. Forget about qualifications or money for the moment. Who are the people you would most like to spend the next 10 to 15 years of your working life helping? Who are the people? What pops in your mind right now?
Well, while you were talking, and I've thought about this before, is over the experience that I've had and things that I've learned and what I'm going through, I would really love to help people that are in my, or not just in my world, but not to be afraid of money and to know how to
have financial peace. To have financial peace. That's what you want to help people with. So here's the deal. Take the Get Clear Career Assessment. Hang on line. We're going to give it to you. And let's see if your purpose statement aligns with that. I think it's going to, absolutely. And then, where in the marketplace do I work for Smart Investor Pro, since I'm familiar with Ramsey Solutions and I am contributing to financial peace? That's just one idea. Maybe you're a financial coach. Take the test. Get really clear on who you want to help and why. And then we figure out, where can I do that?
Hang on the line. Also, we'll pick up. We'll get you the Get Clear assessment. Thank you so much for the call. This is The Ramsey Show.
Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Campbell, joined by Ken Coleman. Reminder for you folks, you can come by and visit us here at the Ramsey Solutions headquarters. Me and Ken were just out there saying hi to the nice people and getting away from a young gentleman out there. Thank you, sir. We're just south of Nashville, Tennessee. We've got free baked goods, coffee. It's a whole visitor center experience. There's like a timeline wall museum you can check out. You get a free mug on your way out. Bring the whole family, Ken. It's a good time.
And there's a fun little doll. It's the Dancing George, and we give that away to kids under the age of 10. So that's always
again,
nice.
Someone's going to show up asking for the George doll, and we're going to have to let them down and say that doesn't exist.
Why are you so worried? No one wants to see a Dancing George doll.
You'd be
you
surprised,
assume that when I
Ken.
say that, people think that's serious.
You'd be surprised. There's a niche audience that would request that.
Okay, folks, I'm kidding. Having fun today. There is no Dancing George doll. Although George, when you come out, we come out in the lobby and say hi to folks during breaks. George will dance for you upon
I've been
request.
told I'm a tiny dancer.
Yeah, you are.
There you go. All right, open phones this hour, 888-825-5225. Donnie joins us up next in Boston. Donnie, welcome to the show. How's it going?
Hey, man, it's going good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you guys taking my call.
Sure, happy to take it. What's going on?
So, I just started listening to the show, I'd say, in like the last 2 months or so.
Oh, cool.
My parents' church back home in Georgia, they've gotten real big with the Financial Peace University.
Yeah.
So they've been doing a lot of that. I know my parents have done classes, but I never really paid any attention. And fast forward now, I've gotten a job after college. I was supposed to start law school. It went virtual, so I kind of said bump that. I have a travel job that I do, and I've been doing it for about a year now. And I'm in a situation where they pay for my housing and my transportation, and pretty much my cost of living is almost at zero.
Wow.
Other than a car payment. So what I'm trying to figure out is how can I take advantage of, the current state of our economy and the downturn so that a year from now and, even 5 years from now, and hopefully I'm, starting a family and I'm married, that I look back and appreciate, what I did now.
I love it. So how old are you?
25.
25. And what's your income?
It's like between 70 and 80.
Wow.
Love it. And that's on top of most of your expenses being covered.
Yep. So they, they pretty much just put me like in Airbnbs because the nature of the work is really.
Is like a travel sales job?
It's politics, so don't hate me for it.
No hate here.
Well, wait a second. Now, Donnie, I used to be in politics. Are you working on campaigns, or are you working for a PAC and you're just kind of moving around from place to place?
So it's a mixture of both, essentially.
Good. Yeah, I totally know what that's what I did when I was
Ken's
in my
old
early
life.
20s. Absolutely. So we don't hate you.
Oh, how about that? Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, you're fine.
I started in D.C. where I was into the law school.
Yeah.
Kind of said I don't want to do that. Tapped into my network. I started in politics when I was a sophomore in high school.
Good for
you. And it just kind of tapped into my network, and it's been a huge blessing, the position that I'm in now.
Good for you, man. That's
Awesome.
fantastic.
So how much debt do you have?
0.
Well, you just said you had a car payment.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, then you're right.
Hold on, Donnie. You're already lying to me. We just became friends.
He's new to the show. He didn't pay attention to the financial peace classes in his church. Give him a
Riling
break.
me up.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm calling.
Donnie, I got your back.
Is there any other debt that you want to let me know about, Donnie, while we're being honest?
No, yeah, just my car payment. It's $600 a month, and it comes out automatically, and I paid it ahead 3 months. So I try to stay 3 months ahead of that just because you know the nature of this. With politics and stuff, I just try to, keep myself ahead of any costs that
So
might
with
be
traveling, are you taking the car with you, or are you flying and then getting a rental car to get around?
So I take the car with me. I got a dog, so it makes it a lot easier for me to get around with her.
Okay, what's left on the loan for the car?
$18,000.
Okay, what's the car worth?
$27,000.
Oh. That's a good day. Well, here's the deal. You called not asking about any of this. You called asking about how you can be taking advantage of the market and saving and investing. And your number one wealth building tool is your income. That's $70,000, $80,000. And right now, you're sending $600 of your take-home pay to a lender every single month.
Correct.
And so with our plan, here's how we like to put it. We want you to become debt-free with a fully funded emergency fund before we ever start investing. So the question is, how quickly can you get there? Do you have any money saved in the bank?
Yeah. So, I could almost pay my car off completely.
I'd sell the car, but I'm always very aggressive on that.
For a 25-year-old who's traveling around the country,
with a dog, come on, man.
You could sell it.
I'd sell it, and I'd buy a $10,000 car, $9,000.
You're going to make $9,000 if you sell it.
No, I know. And the truth is, I bought it when I was in Nova because I thought I'd be in the D.C. area. And then it's just been it's been a whirlwind since.
Sell the car. Hey, sell the car. You're immediately debt-free. You get a decent car. You're young. You're making really good money. And it's a transition car until you save up. But, man, you can get ahead as a young guy because are you planning to just keep moving from campaign to campaign for a while?
No. So
what's your plan politically?
Honestly, so politically, the 3-year plan is to go back to D.C. and either, sooner than later get back into law school, which that's not really where my heart's at.
Don't go to law school. Don't go to law school.
Yeah.
Why? Whoa. Sorry, George.
So you riled Ken up about the career
stuff.
stuff.
That's why I'm pausing. I want to make sure we give him the financial advice and finish that, and then I want to talk about this law degree. I'm going to save you a lot of money on the other side.
So, Donnie, the car's not killing you. Based on your income, it's okay if you want to aggressively pay it off, but you told me you're way more excited about saving and investing. And so that tells me you don't really care about having a $30,000 car right now. So let's sell it.
No.
Let's get something cheaper so that we can begin investing. You said you had savings. I still want you to get 3 to 6 months of expenses, which right now you don't have much, which is great, but still get 6 months of expenses saved up and then begin investing 15% of your income into great retirement accounts, into mutual funds, things of that nature, not stocks and crypto.
Yeah. And Donnie.
Yeah, so I've stayed away from crypto.
Good.
All my friends got into the hype and they try to convince me.
All your friends are broke now, aren't they?
Well, I don't want to say that. A few of them might be listening, but I'm happy I didn't do it.
Good for you.
Good
now,
man.
Donnie, let's skip law school for a moment. What's the long-term play for you? Where do you want to be in 20 years?
Play, I want to be president one day, but everybody says that.
No,
so
but Donnie, you're talking to the right guy. The one day you call into the show, you get me, because Dave and everybody else doesn't care. Dave would get this look on his face like he has indigestion, and I actually get what you're talking about. And so here's the deal. You want to run. Here's the deal. You want to run for office. Sure, the end of the road would be president, but the deal is you want to serve your country as an elected official. And I get that. That was the path for me when I came out of high school, and then it changed for me. But here's the deal. You don't need a law degree to become an elected official. In fact, I will tell you, that was the plan. That was kind of the way to do it 30 years ago. But the political landscape has changed. You know that. You don't need a law degree that you don't want, and that's another chance to go into debt.
I thought about being an entrepreneur. Like I'd have a lot of interest in opening a brewery.
Attaboy. And here's what I think you ought to do. I think you ought to ask yourself, I know long term that you want to run for office, but until that timing is right, what kind of work would you really enjoy doing? And if it's business, small business, entrepreneur, can I just tell you, that's going to set you up to be a much more attractive candidate than being a lawyer. You're a guy who pays attention to polls. You know this. Go look at, I'm not knocking lawyers. I got some good friends who are lawyers. But go look at what the perception is of lawyers among the American people. And I'm telling you, a small business person who creates jobs and who earns something by the skin of their teeth, the sweat of their brow, the sweat of their brow. That's what attracts people. So don't go law school, please. You don't need it to run for office.
I think I'm sold. I've been having that same thought process that, being an entrepreneur as a job creator, people tend to like you a lot more if you're, selling them beer than they would, if you're just some guy in a suit. That's
right. That's how Sam Adams did it, right, Ken?
Absolutely right. Yes.
Started a brewery.
George, with the president, with the
I'm kidding,
Bostonian,
guys. I'm from Boston. It was a joke.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
But hey, Congressman Coleman's got a ring to it.
Oh, stop it.
It's got a ring. That's all I'm saying.
No, it doesn't. It sounds awful.
Okay.
It sounds terrible.
You're in the right.
I'm a man of the people, but I don't need to get anybody to vote for me to do that. Just come on over to the Ken Coleman.
You've got my vote. It's the only one that counts.
Thank you, George.
Hey, more coming up. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com.
I'm George Camel. Next to me is Ken Coleman. This is The Ramsey Show. Open phones this hour, 888-825-5225. Logan joins us up next from Lexington, Kentucky. Logan, welcome to the show.
Hey, gentlemen. How's it going?
Great.
Good.
How are you?
Great, man. Doing well.
How can we help?
So just a quick question. Yeah, just a quick question. So I currently have a lease. It's a 2019 Camry. It's due in August is when I have to return it. The way that the market's going right now, obviously, I've been looking at Kelley Blue Book. I think trade-in is about 27, 29, and private is about 29 to 31. My wife and I just had our first child. He's about a week and a half old at this point.
Congrats.
So we're trying to get something.
All right.
Hey, appreciate it.
Yeah, man, listen, you are remarkably coherent given the fact that you have a 1 week old. I'd be exhausted. I wouldn't know how to talk. I wouldn't know how to speak
I wouldn't
at
be able
all.
to make a phone call.
Yeah, very good. Good for you,
Lots
Logan.
of coffee.
Yeah, good
Lots
man.
of coffee.
Good man.
So you're looking at your options. What's your question?
Following anything Ramsey related at all, but we paid off about $85,000 in student loans in a year.
Way to go.
Wow. Yeah, it was tough, but we did it.
Good for
and
you.
So now we're debt free. Just seeing if it's worth it. Should I just turn the car back in, or should we buy it out? And
what would it cost to buy it out?
Profit off of it. Yeah, it's going for about $20,000 right now is what I owe on it.
Okay, and you can make 31.
I think so. It's
that feels
like
about right for a 2019 Camry.
Yeah, it's pretty decked out, so it's pretty sweet. I hate to get rid of it, but it doesn't fit a car seat.
How much money do you have?
So that's the next question. So we have about $20,000 in just the bank, and then we have about $24,000 in a brokerage account, which used to be $35,000. So selling that would be tough since the market's so low, and that's kind of why I'm trying to get some advice.
So you would have $0 in the bank if you bought this car outright?
Yeah, so my wife and I make pretty decent money. We, before tax, we're about $210,000 a year.
Awesome.
And since it's due in August, I'm thinking we can probably save up quite a bit until then. But
okay.
Again, I don't.
All right, so I want to. This is relevant, George. I'm interjecting here because between the two of us, I'm the one with kids.
Fair.
Sorry, George.
That's all right.
You can fit a car seat. You got one little dude. You can fit a car seat comfortably in a Camry, dude. I'm not trying to bring some judgment on you. I'm just trying to introduce that fact to this conversation because it does figure into what you would do. This idea that once we have a kid, we got to have a minivan or we got to have an SUV. Total garbage. One kid fits beautifully in a Camry. All right. Now that I've interjected that, George.
Sure. The car is very reasonable compared to your income. So if you're good with it, I'd buy it out and keep the car and try to have a few $1,000s as kind of your starter emergency fund when you do that. And then let's be about the business of saving up a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months, and then we invest. So if you're doing any investing right now, just pause that until we're in a better spot financially.
Gotcha.
Do you like the car? Forget the car seat issue that I just jumped all over. Do you like the Camry?
Yeah, no, we definitely love the car.
What's your
my
wife's?
wife has a Prius, so
she has a Prius.
A baller too.
Yeah, I get it. Is she wanting a certain vehicle?
We're thinking about maybe getting a RAV4 or something a little bit bigger. That's what we're thinking.
But I got to tell you, the RAV4 is not bigger. It's up higher. It maybe have a different chassis. George, I'll explain what that means later.
I was not expecting chassis to be brought into the show today.
I watch NASCAR, all right? Don't judge me, okay? You understand what I'm saying, Logan? Like, I just want you guys to make the right financial decision, and not to be swayed by an emotion that a RAV4 is somehow more equipped for a baby than a Camry. It's not.
Got it. So I guess you guys would recommend just buying out the car or getting rid of it in general and just saving the 20 that we have on hand.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get to decide, but I mean,
worst case, you do the buyout and then you sell it and make $10,000.
Yeah,
and that gives you some money towards the next one.
Gotcha.
And the point is, if you could afford it, is the RAV4 more expensive than what you got now? A newer one or
it would be.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm leaning towards. I'm not just for all the RAV4 lovers out there. I have no problem with the RAV4, but it's like you got enough car for the season that you're in right now.
RAV4 cancel culture is coming for you, Ken.
Oh, I know. I'm going to get hammered online for that.
Logan, you guys make a great income. I would be about the business of stacking up as much cash as possible temporarily, getting out of this lease, and then we can make a wise decision from a place of peace.
Then when you get 3 kids like we had, then I had to get something that would fit 3 kids. But, man, I'd stick 2 kids back there. They can stare.
Back in the day, Ken, it was a different time.
They can throw goldfish at each other. Huh?
Kids fit in any car back in the day.
Don't even start. I grew up when you sat in the front seat.
Gosh, I missed the 50s.
And you didn't have a seatbelt on it. If Dad had to hammer the brakes, he did one of these numbers. For our listening audience, it's an full extension of the left hand.
Please don't slap me.
Right into the chest. And if that didn't work, you went head first into some legitimate steel.
The 1950s were a different time, Ken.
I know. I hate to take us back to nostalgia, but the point is the Camry's enough car, and it gets you ahead financially.
Fair point.
You don't need to spend money on a cute little RAV4.
Next up, David joins us in Houston, Texas. David, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Glad to be on the show.
Yeah, great to have you. What's going on?
So I had a kind of particular situation where I got the opportunity to assume a loan on a house for $156,000 at an interest rate that's awesome. And now I'm deciding whether or not I should just move into the house and live in it or sell it off.
So what do you mean you're assuming the loan? What's the situation?
So a family member is moving away, doesn't want to put it on the market, doesn't want to deal with it anymore. And so they were like, if you just want to take over the loan with the loan company, you can. And effectively what happens is all of the debt just transfers to me. So she's got 26 years left on the loan lease at a 2.25% interest rate.
But you would be the owner of the property?
Correct.
Where do you live now?
Well, I live in San Antonio. I'm just renting now. So I'm deciding whether or not, and it's just down the road for me. It's not much of a move. It's just a difference of owning versus currently I'm renting.
Got it.
So,
and what's what's the mortgage payment compared to what you're paying in rent?
So currently I'm paying $600 in rent. If I was to pay with mortgage and the interest rate, it's a little bit more. It's about $650.
So
what's your income?
So our household income is like $97,000.
Okay. So what's the house worth?
So I just had it appraised with the intent of removing PMI, and it appraised for $215,000. So my question is, should I just take the raw equity I have, sell it back off to someone else, and move on with my life with $50,000 free dollars, or should I move in?
Wow.
And you're sure there's not going to be any? I mean, wouldn't you have capital gains on that?
I would have capital gains on that, but if I 1031 it, I can roll it into a newer house or something more.
But that would have to be an investment property.
Pardon me, then yes, they would have to pay capital gains on it.
Yeah.
But even still, I assume that I'd lose 25-30%, still walk away with $20,000-$30,000.
All right, so he's laid it out beautifully, George. So now I think it comes down to, where were you thinking about housing? Were you planning to rent for a while, or were you thinking, I want to buy at some point prior to this situation coming in out of the sky?
Well, our rent is so cheap that I just plan on kind of running that for the next, while I save up money and then eventually buy a house with cash. But
well, I think that plays into it.
I would just look into all the details, because it feels a little fishy for them to just hand this over to you instead of them selling it and keeping the profit.
Well, it's a situation where they bought it with their husband, and there's some bad mojo, so they just want to wash their hands of it, essentially, which is why they're just like,
yeah.
Hey,
I don't think it's fishy. I think it's fabulous.
Due diligence and spoke with a lawyer and whatnot. So
okay, I just want to make sure you got your T's crossed, your I's dotted there. Talk to tax pros, talk to real estate agents. Just make sure you're walking into this slowly with wisdom and not impulsively to try to make a quick buck. That's what I want. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, co-hosting today, Ken Coleman. This is The Ramsey Show. The number to call is 888-825-5225. We can help you with all of the crossroads you're dealing with in life, whether it's with your career, your money, your life. We are here for you, America. Garrett joins us up next in Raleigh, North Carolina. Garrett, welcome to the show.
Hey, gentlemen. Thank you guys for taking my call today.
Absolutely. How can we help?
So just have a really quick question. So right now, me and my wife, I've graduated college. She's actually in her doctorate program at school, and we have about $75,000 in student loan between the both of us, and we're just trying to kind of figure out what we need to do here.
Okay. So how many loans is this across?
So it's between two. So it comes out of the same company, both of them do, and it's just it's like a lump sum kind of thing bound together. So there's like 5 inside of each one. So mine's $20,000. Hers right now is $52,000.
Okay. So we recommend using the debt snowball method to pay off those debts, which is listing them all smallest to largest and just ignore the interest rate on all of them, because we want you to make progress really fast. So what's the smallest loan?
So actually, let me ask you this question very quickly. So like I said, she's still in school, so we're still technically accruing some
What would it take to cash flow the rest of school?
About $45,000 a year.
Okay. What's your income?
$86,000.
Okay. Is that just you, or is she working as well while she's doing the doctorate program?
It is just me.
Okay. Cool. So $86,000, and it would take $45,000 to cash flow. How is that? Just 1 year she has left?
2.
2 years, and it's $45,000 a year.
Yes. Yes.
So she's going to go $90,000 more into debt to get this doctorate.
Well, we already do pay $15,000 out of pocket each year. So $15,000 out of pocket. So it'd be acquiring of 20. So it'd be about $41,000.
$41,000 on top of the $75,000.
Yes.
Okay. Well, right now you're going to have a hard time making progress while we're digging the hole even deeper.
I understand that.
And so my goal would be to stop the bleeding here and try to cash flow as much as possible, because she's not having to pay on her student loans while she's in school, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, I mean, once she's out of school, how much is she going to be making? What kind of work will she be getting into?
It'll be the medical field. We're probably going to be looking at somewhere between 80 to 120.
Okay, on top of your 86.
Yes.
Okay. So then it becomes, well, making $200,000, how quickly are we going to pay off 110?
That would be 1 year. We were planning on 1 year when it comes to that. We're just kind of wanting to see what we probably should be doing right now.
Right now, your best bet's to take out as little debt as possible, hopefully nothing. But it sounds like that's not an option for you, and she's not going to pause the program.
Yeah, no, we're definitely not going to pause the program. We're already disinvested into it.
Sunk cost fallacy. Okay, well, what do you think, Ken? Because you talk to people a lot who are getting education and paying for it and trying to help them navigate the financial side.
Well, I mean, look, I don't know that I could add a whole lot to this because she's committed to this and it's happening. And so the reality is they don't have the financial wherewithal to actually cash flow this unless she presses pause. Is that fair, Garrett?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there any scholarships, grants available that she could be applying for?
No, this is a doctorate program.
Yeah. So what's happening here, Garrett, is that I would press pause if it were me, and I would cash flow it. That's what I would do. Because I at the end of the day, you look at the unbelievable debt burden that you guys are going to walk away with, and she's going to come into this new path all excited about it. But the reality is we know what the emotional grind is like because you're calling today because you want to get out of it. And so you're assuming that. And this is not popular, and I'm not suggesting that you tell her that I said this. But that's what I would do. I would press pause because the doctorate is still going to be there. And I would cash flow the rest of it and not take out the debt. That's me because I know what the work economy looks like, and I know that she can go do something, and you guys could double your income theoretically, and get to a point where you can walk into that doctorate and finish it out with cash. Is that going to delay the destination? Absolutely, it is. But that's something that I would do because I think the trade-off is so much better. It's agonizing waiting, but it is so depressing getting out and wanting to be all excited about this work and feel like everything you're doing is going to pay it off. And so it's a different mindset. Both are hard, but one is so much more fulfilling. And it's so much more fulfilling when you don't have that debt. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
What other debt do you guys have, Garrett?
None. That's it. It's only that.
Okay.
So remind me what the total would be if you don't do what I said and pause. What's the total debt burden coming out?
Sounds like it's about 116. You said 41
about
plus
116.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be right around there. Yes, and also I kind of wanted to bring this up also. So we do have a good established emergency fund. I know we probably need to dwindle it down to about 1,000, but there's about 35,000 in that.
Whoa!
And there's an additional, yeah.
Dude, this debt is the emergency.
For my retirement. Yeah.
And you're investing too?
And yes, my retirement's also an additional 35,000.
So wait a second. Now we don't have to press pause for very long.
What if
you pay it off now?
We go down to 1,000, you take 34,
yep.
You cash flow the next year, you get about the business, you stop investing, which is going to free up cash flow from your income, and we be about the business of cash flowing the final amount. Could that get you guys, without adding any more debt, could that get her doctorate?
Yes, I do believe it could.
That would be my plan.
That's an option.
It's the best
I like
option.
it.
But
sorry.
You called us and asked for our opinion. It's worth what you paid for it.
What is so you would do that as opposed to pressing pause on the doctoral program and paying off the
If
debt
the
they've
option
already
is we're not
accrued.
pausing it, I'm going, you got 35 sitting. Now, I'm not touching retirement. Don't touch that. But I would pause retirement until we're completely debt free.
I think those are two really good options. I'll go with George's as the best option.
Because here's the thing, you're feeling pretty comfortable with $35,000 in the bank, but the truth is the house is on fire. We're walking out of this thing with 6 figures in debt.
I'm going to tell you something, folks. You come out of school, I don't care what your fancy doctorate is, I don't care how fancy your freaking school is, and you come into the marketplace and you've been desiring to do this work, and you come home after the first 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and you realize how much your debt repayment is, it is so stifling.
Oh, absolutely. So, Garrett, here's what I'm going to do for you. Austin's going to pick up. We're going to get you a code to use to watch Borrowed Future, the documentary. I want you to sit down with your wife, make it a date night, have a nice meal, and watch this 88-minute documentary that we released last fall. And I think it's going to get you closer to the option I recommended, which is let's stop the bleeding. Let's not go further into debt so we can be saddled when she gets this new job and goes, wait, I'm making great money. Where's it all going? Oh, it's going to Navient and Maximus and Sally Mae and making them rich instead of helping us build wealth. And so I'm looking for your long-term future versus your short-term, comfort. That's what this is all about. And I think if you do this plan, you liquidate most of that savings except for $1,000, and you feel that fire under your belly going, this doesn't feel safe. It shouldn't. I want you to get rid of this debt so that you guys can live the lives you are meant to live.
I like that you use the word saddled.
Saddled. I don't think it's used enough.
Well, I got to tell you, you imagine what a horse feels like. And I'm not Mr. Animal Rights activist, but honestly, they just want to eat. They want to graze. And you slap a saddle on them, and then you throw your body into that saddle, and you're carrying a person around like, oh, here we go.
So in this situation, you're the horse, and Navient and Sally Mae are the saddle on your back.
They're on your back. You're dragging them to work with you every day and on the way back home. I think it's a really good, I like that you use saddle because I started thinking about it. I always feel for the trail horse. These guys, they've been in it a long time.
What don't you know about, Ken? You know a lot about sports, horses, politics.
We're in dangerous territory here talking about horses,
Yeah,
George.
Ken, I got canceled by horse culture because I told a caller to sell a horse because she was very broke. And
I wish I'd have been on with you that day because I would have
here's what they said.
into that with
It's like selling a child. I went, no, that's called trafficking. That's illegal. People sell horses all the time.
Yeah, they do.
So don't come at me with that logic.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you got
these
me riled
people
up.
make big money breeding these horses and selling all kinds of things around horses.
That's right. I'm not
George,
a bad person.
you're a good and decent man.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to tell you that
Thank
right
you.
now.
Take that all the way to the bank, America.
Yeah.
That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. I'm George Camel. That's Ken Coleman. Appreciate all the folks in the booth keeping the show afloat. And you, America, we appreciate you listening in.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
From Ramsey Network, this is The Ramsey Show, where we help you get control of your money, get ahead in your career, and get on the path to living well. I'm George Camel, your host, joined today by Ken Coleman, and we are taking your calls. The number is 888-825-5225. Let's talk about your work, your life, your money. Many of you at a crossroads when it comes to your career right now, figuring out where to go. I think we want to move. We're remote. We just got laid off. There's a hot job market. What do we do? I'm not doing the things that I want to be doing. And Ken, you're taking so many calls on your show of people switching, and you're helping them navigate it.
Yeah, it's happening. People saying, hey, I certainly want to jump in on this, roller coaster ride where people are leveling up big time. We're seeing right now an average of a 14% increase in salary when people change jobs. And let's point this out. You want to know what a major driver of the inflation is increase in wages. So certainly moving to another company can give you a big boost in income. But we want to make sure that we're moving not just for the paycheck, but we're going, okay, I'm moving to get on the right seat on the right bus. Because if we can do that, and of course the income is there, the increase is there rather, now we're setting ourselves up for just continual growth. And so that's what we focus on the Ken Coleman Show. What were you created to do? All of us have a unique combination of talent, what we do best, passion, work we love, and a sense of mission, results that motivate us. And so when we can get all three of those unique elements in alignment, good things happen. So that's what we do. We'd love to help some people out today.
Yeah, you can use that income to do the baby steps, which is what we preach here on the show.
Right.
So give us a call, 888-825-5225. Rob joins us first in Chattanooga. Rob, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
So this question is mainly for Ken, but George, I love your input. Love my company that I work for. I love my bosses. I've got 3 bosses up the line that are, amazing. But as I've gone further into my career, I've noticed that more of what I'm doing, I'm, the bad guy to our clients. When things are good, I don't have to say much, but it's when things are bad that I have to speak up. And, I'm starting to wonder if that's for me, because I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky, upbeat guy, and I don't like being the bearer of bad news.
Tell me a little bit more about the role. What do you mean by when things go wrong, I have to be the bad guy to our clients?
So we're the consultant we're a consultant engineer, and we work for clients that hire contractors to do work. And so when the contractors aren't doing it correctly, we turn around and tell the clients that, hey, this is what's going wrong here. And the contractor typically has pushback or looks at us or argues with us like we don't know what we're talking about, and it's typically frustrating.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like it's draining to you.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. And have you been in that role the entire time you've been with this company, or is this something that you kind of evolved into?
Well, I've evolved into it. I've had the same role, but I've been given a lot more responsibility in the last year. And I've really noticed this over the last 3 months on 2 of the jobs where things are, not going according to plan, and we have to bring it up.
Yeah, and it's to the point where you go, I don't think I can keep doing this. Is that fair?
I can do it. I don't have a problem doing it. It's just
no, that's not true.
I'm not a.
You do have a problem doing it, and that's not bad. I'm trying to free you here. It drains you so much that you sit there and you wonder how much longer. Or I know you can do it, but that it's not a function of technically doing it. It's just how much longer emotionally can you keep doing that.
There's a sense of dread every time you have to go and deal with one of these.
Am I right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay, then. So that's eventually going to turn into resentment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long, because you're a good guy with a lot of character. But I'm telling you, if you don't resolve this, and what I mean by resolve is you got to talk to your leaders. You got a great relationship. You said you love your 3 bosses. You love the company. You got to go, you know what? This is dragging me down, and here's how it's affecting me. And if we don't resolve it, it's going to turn into something negative. None of us want that. And I think I can add greater value somewhere else. And I think the conversation has to be one that is, you know what? I realize this about myself. When I have to deliver bad news, it drains me. It is not who I am. And so I'm not at my best when I'm doing this type of work for the company. Do you understand what I'm saying so far?
Absolutely.
Now let me flip this. There are some people, I'll raise my hand just for example purposes, that I have no problem with confrontation. And this is a form of confrontation. And it drains you and it energizes other people. Would you agree with that, Rob? You think of people in your life, that doing what you have to do that drains you, they could do it and it doesn't even make them blink.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's the guy. So as a leader, they need to know that they're going to be better at it. It's going to actually go smoother. It's going to be more effective when this work has to be done. If we put somebody in that seat who eats it for breakfast. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Do you know of somebody in the company? Because I want you to come to this conversation with solutions. Do you know somebody that you think would probably enjoy doing it and probably has the know-how and whatever the other elements are to be able to do it effectively?
Well, I mean, I can do it effectively, but the problem is our office is smaller, so there's not a whole lot of people here. I'm doing kind of mini tasks.
So they might have to backfill for that position if you moved.
Correct.
Okay.
Is there some? But my point is what if you did? How much of a percentage is this type of draining work of your overall work? How much?
30%, 40%.
It's pretty high, man.
Yeah.
So I here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you get to the point. I'm trying to help you with a solution right now, but let me back up because I think you can figure out the solution. You will resent this job and resent the company and resent everybody else if you don't solve this. 40% of your work doing something that drains you is a recipe for discouragement, despondency, depression. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just going,
yeah,
it's the way we're wired, bro. You know, we're not wired to do something that drains us. We're wired to do something that fuels us. So you got to come to your leadership with a solution.
Okay.
So I'd be looking around the company going, hey, I really love what that guy does. If I could do that every day, man, that would fire me up.
Or Rob, it's, hey, I'm going to keep doing the 60% that I already do, but I'm going to carve off this 30% to somebody else who's better at it. It doesn't drain them. And I'll pick up another 30, 40% that adds value to the company and something that I enjoy. That's the solution formula.
And then they see you winning, doing the other part, and they go, man, he should be doing that full time. He's so good at that. It lights him up. So I like that plan, Rob. And it'll get there. It'll take some conversations with your leaders. It may not happen tomorrow, but you got to take steps.
Let's do this. Hey, Rob, hang on the line. We're going to give you a Get Clear assessment that's going to help you further clarify and communicate how you need to get in your sweet spot with this company. This will be a great tool as you go through this. Thanks for the call.
So many of our calls on the show lately have been about fallout from the pandemic, rising inflation, questions about a recession. More than ever, people need hope with their finances. And maybe you're feeling that way too. And that's why you need to check out Financial Peace University. This is not your dad's version of FPU. We just did a massive update to our biggest money course, and it's still our proven money principles, but refreshed for what you're facing today. You're going to hear from Dave and Rachel Cruz, of course, but we've just added Dr. John Deloney and myself, and we are bringing some fresh insights to show you new ways to look at money. So if you're feeling scared or overwhelmed, know that you're not alone. There's a lot going on these days that you just can't control, but you can take control of your money and ease your money stress with Financial Peace University, and we're going to show you how. You can start FPU for free and check out all of this new content by going to RamseySolutions.com/FPU. That's RamseySolutions.com/FPU. I'm George Campbell, joined by Ken Coleman today. This is The Ramsey Show. The number to call is 888-825-5225. Dylan joins us up next in Erie, Pennsylvania. Dylan, welcome to the show.
How are you guys?
Great. How can we help? You broke up on us, Dylan. Can you get your phone to a good place?
Yeah, can you hear me?
That's better. Let's try that.
Okay.
Hey, Dylan, you might need to turn the microwave off. Something's interfering there.
Please tell me he's near a microwave. That would make me happy. Well, hey, we'll put you on the line. We'll see if Austin can get you some good quality.
He enjoyed it. He got the idea.
We'll try you in just a moment. We're going to go to Brandon in Phoenix instead. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you guys?
Great. What's going on?
So I got asked if I wanted to apply for a position with my company as operations manager up in a new facility in Marysville, Washington. It's about an hour north of Seattle. I currently make $80,000 here. I'd be asking for $130 and would take nothing less than $120 up there. As far as career-wise, it would be a huge move. The facility I'm in now is probably the second to smallest facility in the company. That one is the third largest. They make twice as much sales-wise as we do here. So it would be a huge turbocharge to my career as far as that goes. As far as my family goes, everybody that my wife and I know are here. So we'd be going up there alone. I have a house that I'm building here, about $560,000, and a house that I have right now that I would be selling to put money down on that house. Housing up there for something along the same lines is about $200,000 more. So does it make sense to go out there financially? I guess family-wise.
Well, you got two issues here. You got the relational, and then you've got the financial. Because I think the professional side, if it was just that, I think you'd probably be jumping at this. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, how open is your wife? How open are you to leaving? Before we get to the financial piece, how open are you to leaving everybody in Phoenix and heading to this opportunity?
They actually paid to fly us out there to take a look around in some communities and some houses. So we were there this last weekend, and my wife loved it. I mean, obviously the temperature outside is a whole lot better right now. It's probably 100 and something in Phoenix, and it was 60 degrees there, so that was nice.
So your wife is not really tied to Phoenix to the point where she's pushing back against us, going, "I don't know, Brandon, I don't know." That's what I'm trying to determine. Seems like she's open.
Yeah, she's probably more for it than I am.
Oh, okay. And how big of a deal is it to you? I mean, how big of a deal is it? Are you worried about some guilt? Are you worried about some pressure from family if you were to leave?
No, it's more just, I guess I don't see them all that much anyway. We're kind of introverted, stay home and do our own
You'll keep
thing.
up on Instagram, right? It'll be fine.
Well, you just answered that question.
Yeah, but it's, I guess, the fact that on my way home I could do like I did yesterday, stop by and talk to my brother about this situation or something else. I wouldn't be able to just do that anymore.
Yeah, you'd have to FaceTime him.
You'd have to FaceTime him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're introverts anyway. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pass the baton to George because I think this is a financial play right here. I mean, I think the professional side, it's a no-brainer, and it feels like on the relational side, it's a no-brainer. So, George, we got one more box to walk through.
The timing is wonky because you said you're building a house?
Yeah, so I put $6,000 earnest cash down. I could try to get that back. I doubt I would, but that would be something that I asked for the company to pay me back for to move up there.
Oh, as part of kind of your moving costs.
Either way, yeah. I'd likely get some sort of moving bonus, relocation bonus.
They've not offered you the job yet, correct?
My boss said it's about a 99% chance. We have support from the current people at the facility that would be moving up to the new area, and the president is all for it, and one of the other VPs. So I got a lot of support.
And is the 130 a shot in the dark? I mean, is that a wet finger in the air, or is that reasonable?
What's that?
The 130 that you'd be asking.
He originally told me somewhere between 120 and 130.
Okay.
I think it's reasonable.
Okay. Just want to make sure you weren't just hoping. Yeah. But that's a number that they threw out there. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
well, if
so
you can get out of this house, what would your house sell for that you're in?
About $436,000, $450,000.
And what's your equity?
We owe about $195,000, $190,000, something like that.
So you could net over $200,000 to put down on a house there. Maybe even rent for a year when you get to the new area to figure out where you want to live.
Right.
Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm good with that. If you guys take your time with the move and finding somewhere.
Okay.
Can you get a house though? Because you said the cost of the housing there is about $200,000 more. I think you can beat that.
What would a reasonable house cost for you guys in that area? $600,000, $500,000?
Up there?
Yeah. $700,000?
$750,000.
$750. Well, I just look at facts and math and go, all right, go to the mortgage calculator at RamseySolutions.com and start playing around with the numbers. 15-year fixed, where the payment's no more than a quarter of our take-home pay. How much down payment do we need to put down in order to make that happen? And if it's not going to be within the parameters right now, then just go rent for a year and figure out what area you want to live and start to feel out the market. Let it continue to cool off and buy when you're ready.
Let me say this. You could rent 2 years. When Stacy and I, when we relocated from Atlanta to come join Ramsey Solutions, we rented for 2 years because we had 3 kids and we wanted to be absolutely certain what the best place was for us. It's a large area. I'm sure it's a large area there. And so we had a lot of different ways we could go. And we rented for 2 years. And it was one of the best decisions we ever made.
No need to rush. Brandon, does your wife work outside the home?
Yeah, she just graduated dental school. She's an assistant. So she makes 18 an hour here, about 38 grand. I think up there might be a few more bucks an hour, maybe somewhere around 25 bucks an hour. So there's that as well.
Great.
That would help.
So what's your gut telling you? We've already walked through all this.
I feel real good about this.
Yeah. What are you feeling? What are you feeling, Brandon? How do you feel?
I mean, I think it's a huge opportunity. I don't think it would be a bad decision. There's a lot more stuff outdoorsy to do with the kids. We got 2 girls, 9 and 11. So one is going into 6th grade. So I don't think she really has like lifetime, best friends. But here coming up pretty quick, she will. So if we were to make a move somewhere, this would be the time.
I say trust your gut. We've walked through all the different things to think through. I think George is right. Do some more mortgage calculation stuff with that great resource. Couple more visits up there, and then go, hey, you know what? We're just going to make this move because it's an absolute win for us professionally. It's a win for us relationally. The wife is on board. Girls will be fine. You said you're an introvert, don't see your family much anyway. And so now financially, we're going to ease into this.
Yeah.
By renting for a while.
I found that you'll find whatever you're looking for when it comes to life change. If you look for fear and all the reasons you're going to miss then that's what your life is going to be. But if you look at the upside, man, I'm so excited about this new neighborhood and where we're going to live and all the friends we're going to make. Man, I've moved across country multiple times, and I love my family. We talk, we FaceTime. But I'm real happy with my decisions. But that initial fear is real. And so you've got to overcome that with some facts, some logic, and reality. But I'm pumped for you, man. It's a big opportunity. I'm taking it. This is The Ramsey Show. So, Ken, we've been talking about insurance a lot lately, and I'm sure everyone knows about auto insurance, life insurance, hopefully term life if you've been hanging around the show for a little while. But there are some crazy types of insurance out there. I did a little Instagram reel and TikTok video about this.
Oh, did you? Yeah. I haven't seen that yet. I'll head over there.
You got to get on
after the
social
show.
media.
Yeah.
So it's hard to believe that these types of insurance are real. People actually buy them. So I want to get your take on these crazy types of insurance.
Oh, you're hitting me with some crazy... Oh, this is very exciting.
Let's start with this one. You'll enjoy this.
Okay.
Death by laughter insurance.
Come on.
This is for comedians who are so funny they're afraid someone will croak laughing themselves to death.
You got to be kidding me. So this is a protectionary insurance.
This is a real fear for people like you, Ken.
I'm
funny guys.
I'm a funny guy, but I don't walk around worrying about killing somebody with my comedy. So this is a result of our litigious society.
Oh.
Our justice system has run amok. You wanted commentary, I'm bringing it.
If I lose my breath because I'm laughing so hard,
I can now
and
sue
I go to the
somebody.
hospital.
I die because I'm not in good health, or it's just some freak of nature situation, and the family's going to sue the comedian. It's ridiculous.
The good news is you and I don't have to worry about that, Ken.
Yeah.
We're not that funny. The people in the lobby, they're telling us, the audience out there. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. And Ken,
this lady just passed. Oh, no, she's okay. She was
Stay
kidding.
alive. So, Ken, you love your sports.
I do love sports.
You also love fantasy football. Here's the crazy part.
I love fantasy football.
You can insure your fantasy football team. So you can cut your losses if a player gets injured.
Now, see, I see no problem with that. That's solid. That's solid insurance.
boy.
I'm kidding. Relax, everybody. See, this is ridiculous. How much money are you putting into your fantasy football that you feel you need to insure your team?
If you're getting insurance for something that has the word fantasy in it,
well, that's a whole other issue.
You need to take a good hard look in the mirror about your life choices.
You need to go to church.
Well, that's for another day.
All right.
Here's a personal favorite of mine.
Okay.
Death by falling coconut insurance.
Oh, come on.
We've all
Are
been
you
there,
messing
Ken.
up? Time out.
That's a real one.
Death by falling coconut?
And here's the thing. I found out by Google, 150 people die a year from falling coconuts.
What are they doing?
That's
they
like a person
there
every
under
2
the
days.
Tree, shaking the tree, looking for this problem?
If you're a coconut farmer and you're not wearing a helmet, it could be an issue. But this is a rider on some life insurance policies, I guess, if you're around coconut trees.
I got to tell you something. I was in the Caribbean. I forget where it was now. Maybe it was St. Thomas, and I don't know. Maybe it's Haiti. I can't remember. Got a coconut right out of the tree. Guy I'm with's got a machete. Because I don't have a machete.
You don't carry one around? You're not MacGyver? All right.
No. And the guy just chops the top of the coconut off, drank right out of it. Unbelievable organic coconut water. Now, I could see myself choking on that and dying, but not the coconut falling on my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
All right, avoid that one.
Yeah.
This is one for Rachel Cruz, but she's not here. For all the conspiracy theorists out there.
Oh, Lord help us.
Alien abduction insurance. Now, this is a tricky one, Ken, because you have to have a confirmed sighting of an alien to file a claim.
Right.
Good luck.
The very absurdity of that language. I
all
want to
seen
see the insurance processor who goes along with that conversation.
Who gets to watch
Let me tell you what
videos.
this is. This is absolute pure theft. That insurance companies would steal people's money over something this stupid. They ought to go, you know what? Here's some Prozac. Go see a professional.
Well, for the conspiracy theorists out there, you can make a killing from just price gouging them for all kinds of crazy types of insurance. Who knows?
This is the nuttiest thing I've heard in a while.
Well, here's one that's even nuttier, and this is the last one that I'm going to hit you with,
Then
Ken.
the coconut? Death by coconut?
It's even crazier.
I can't believe it.
After the rapture, pet care.
Oh, my gosh.
So here's the deal.
These are crazy Christians. So this is now preying on crazy Christians.
So the atheists out there are going, hey, let's take advantage of these people. If the rapture happens...
And Fido's still here.
The left-behind atheists will take care of Fido. What do you think about that?
This is mental illness.
Now, I've got 2 French bulldogs.
It's truly mental illness.
I'm not doing after the rapture pet care.
I'm not doing before the rapture pet care.
Apparently, I don't know if this is true, $10 for 3 pets. Quite the bargain.
$10 a month?
For 3? I don't know. That's a good question. I got to look into this.
I want to know
Might
what
be a good deal. Might be a good deal. Who knows? Just do it in case,
Yeah. I want to know how that gets paid out and the care for that one. I have questions because there are some people that are going to be left behind. Fabulous book series for those of you who haven't read that.
I'm more of a movie guy. Kirk Cameron. Ken, I promise you, if I see a pair of folded pants on a bed, I get nervous. I go, oh my gosh, it's happening.
Oh, please get back to the phones. I can't handle it right now. I do have questions though.
I have a fear of folded clothes, Ken, because of that movie.
Right.
This is trauma.
I'm trying to get back to the pet. Like, who pays that out? Who's taking care of them?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
All the people going to hell.
Anyways.
I don't know. Is this real, James? These are real insurances?
Look them up. All right. All joking aside, there's a lot of insurance options out there, some crazier than others. And it should be obvious that you don't need abduction insurance, but it can be tough to figure out which ones you do need to protect your finances as you do the baby steps and you build wealth. So if you want to know the right kinds of insurance to get, it's a very short list. And I'm going to walk you through that in a free 5-day video series called Confidence in Your Coverage. In less than 3 minutes a day, I'm going to walk you through the types of coverage you need and why. And I promise you, after the rapture, pet care is not on the list. So go to RamseySolutions.com/confidence and sign up for that free guide today. You'll have a good time. There you go, Ken. All right.
Wow.
Back to the phones.
I didn't even know. That was fantastic.
Back where Ken belongs, on the phones.
there we
Elizabeth
go.
joins us in Denver. Elizabeth, welcome to the show.
Hi there.
Hey, how can we help?
Well, so a little brief background of what's going on is I have managed to accrue almost $50K in credit card debt.
Ouch.
No loans, no car, no house, none of that.
Just credit card debt is the only kind.
Just credit card, because I've just not been able to work enough in the world climate that started 2 years ago. I had to have some serious dental work. I had to have a grad level program that wasn't a graduate school and therefore not financial aid oriented that I paid for out of pocket via credit card. And so this is all just accrued from normal living stuff with those other exceptions. And I'm wondering if you have, of course you'll have questions, but like, what is the best direction at tackling this debt when I'm not yet making enough money to really start paying it off quickly? And the interest fee each month combined with the payments I'm making on the minimum, it's like no progress.
What's the interest?
It's getting really unnecessary. The interest rates are different on each card. It's 17% on one, 16 and 15 on another.
Oh my goodness.
And
what was the grad?
This much in actual.
What was the grad level program for? Are you working in that field?
I'm working in that field now. I've just finished that program. It was a coaching program. And
what kind of coaching?
Just starting off, health coaching.
And so how much are you making right now in that field?
Well, that's the thing, is just starting out in that field, I'm now working on the whole entrepreneurial aspect of garnering the clients I need to make a full-time income, and I'm not anywhere close.
Can you work for someone else?
I could. I'm looking into different jobs to go work for different companies as a health coach, yes.
Okay, I'm going to have George walk you through our debt snowball and getting out of debt, but I'm going to coach you up here on kind of my area of focus, and that is income related. This is one of the hottest job economies we've ever seen, and it still is. Mm-hmm. It still is. Mm-hmm. No matter what you're seeing in the news, now is one of the best times for you to go get what I'm going to call a day job, meaning it does not have to be health coach related, because you've got to get rid of this debt. You've got the qualification and training to be a health coach. It is an entrepreneurial venture anyway, which means it's one customer at a time, unless you do what George says, where you go work maybe for an established company that has a stable of health coaches, but I don't think that's what you want to do, and that's fine. But right now...
Actually, I do want to do some of that.
Fantastic.
I would rather do that than work any other ordinary day job. I would love working with a company where I could coach people for the company.
Well, I appreciate that. Does that exist close by you in Denver?
It does exist somewhere, and I've been looking.
Well, you better go get it. But until then, you better go make some income. George?
Yeah, Elizabeth, so we don't have time. We're up against a break. But what I'm going to do is gift you Financial Peace University. It's 9 lessons, but what I want you to do is just watch the first 2 for now. It's on budgeting. It's on baby step 1 and 2. And we're going to also, with that, give you EveryDollar Premium so that you can lay out all of your income, all of your expenses, and figure out where the leaks are and start to make some progress. That might mean getting some extra jobs, some side jobs. It might mean cutting some things. But this is a fire. You're paying 17% interest on $50K worth of debt. We've got to attack this. So hang on the line. Austin's going to pick up. We're going to give you FPU as well as EveryDollar. It's all part of Ramsey Plus for 1 year. Call us back if you need any help. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 15:16. Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble with it. Stephen Covey said, I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. That'll preach. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Their 100% satisfaction guarantee means even if you mismeasure or pick the wrong color, they will remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Just use the promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Jeremy in North Carolina. I'm 26 and I've made some bad financial decisions. I'm in baby step 2 and I'm trying to find higher paying jobs in my degree field. I have a bachelor's degree in business management, as well as an associate degree in business administration. I'm working 45 plus hours a week, but I only earn $25,000 to $30,000 a year. I don't have any housing expenses, only utilities. My only debts are $4,000 in credit cards and $15,000 in student loans. How can I increase my income? And how do I budget on a weekly paycheck in the meantime? I'll take the first half of that question. The increase the income. Listen, when someone who has a business management degree and they go, hey, how can I, get promoted or make more money in my field? Look, this is leadership. You're technically saying I have a degree in business leadership, but the problem is, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, I'm just going to keep it real. A business management degree is not worth a whole lot. It just isn't, because the way to learn how to manage and the way to learn how to lead is to follow. And so what I would do is, you're only making $25,000 to $30,000 a year with a degree. You got to set your sights higher. This is a wonderful, wonderful job economy, as I've been saying, and I talk about it every day on the Ken Coleman Show. Look, you can make way more money than this. So you got to go get yourself a role in a business, because that is your background and you have some experience in it. And don't worry about, am I in leadership right now? I just need to make more money. Now, that's one thing. That's leveling up and getting a better job, maybe in a larger company or a healthier small business. The second thing is you are in a situation where you can knock this debt out pretty quickly. So maybe it's a second job. Again, part-time jobs, whether it be bartending, waiting tables, delivering stuff, that industry is begging for people. You can go make more money if it's 2 or 3 part-time jobs until you find that better business job. So that would be my focus right now, so that he can get out of debt, because he has no housing.
Yeah, which is great, because that should free up some margin if we're doing a budget. And he asked, how do I do a budget on a weekly paycheck in the meantime? Well, just like you would if you got paid every 2 weeks. So use every dollar. You're going to list every single paycheck in the income section. Then the expenses section, we've got to give every single dollar a name. And actually pay attention to where your money's going and go, you know what, I could cut that. And I think I can get a better deal on the insurance, and I'm getting a tax refund. I need to change my withholding. And all of a sudden you get creative and you find room in your budget. So I just did some quick napkin math here, Ken. If he found a job, 15 hours a week, that puts him at 60 hours. That 15 hours a week at $20 an hour, which is reasonable right now.
Very reasonable.
That'll give him an extra $300 a week. That's $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
And so now you go, we got $1,200 a month to throw at the $19,000 in debt.
That's right.
We're going to be debt-free in a year. This is very, very doable, but we've got to really ratchet down our spending and increase our income.
Yep.
That's how you create margin. We got to spend less and make more.
That's it.
So you can do this, man.
Yep.
All right, let's go to the phones. Melissa joins us up next in San Diego. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
So my question is, my dad has a paid-off house that's worth approximately $1.4 million. He's thinking that he's going to have a forced retirement, possibly in the next coming weeks to months. In his retirement, my dad would not be able to afford the property taxes and the upkeep to remain in this property. And my dad has done a lot with the property, and he doesn't want to lose it outside of the family. And my husband and I just had twin boys, which are now 10 months old. And my dad has recently proposed the idea of allowing us to take over the house and building a granny flat on the property that he would live in. My husband and I own a house, and we owe approximately $199,000 on our house. In the current market, we're estimating to get approximately $525,000 for our house, which would net us approximately $300,000, which we would use to fund the build for the granny flat on his property that he would live in. And my dad recently got an estimate for the new builds that would be approximately $340,000. So since the numbers are so close, we're wondering if it would be a smart idea to get a construction loan to fund the rest of the project. Our expenses at my dad's house that we'd be moving into are approximately $400 more per month than the house we're currently living in. And that's just with extras such as like pool maintenance, landscaper, that kind of thing. And this is a way for our family to move into a bigger residence without having much of an increase.
This feels real messy, Melissa. It feels like this is a recipe for disaster and resentment, because you don't own the house and you're going to put $300,000 in for him to live in it while you pay all these extra maintenance fees. What's the plan for ownership?
We'd have to sit down and discuss like all the legalities, but basically, I mean, he owns the house outright, so it'd just be basically.
I think he needs to sell this house, downsize, and you guys live your life and move on.
Yep.
That just feels like the best plan for relationally and financially.
And I got to tell you, a big question mark for me, Melissa, was $340,000 for a place for him to live on the property. He didn't need that much space. I understand the cost. I mean, I understand it's expensive to build anything, but he don't need that big of a place. So that was a big red flag on top of everything else.
Okay.
And you're saying he's going to be retiring. Does he have money out? Because that doesn't free up any cash flow for him, really, other than what you're adding to it.
Yeah, no, he would just be living off of the retirement of what he has. But like I said, just with the way that the market is here, the price to move anywhere else would be, almost as expensive because he owns the house outright. He has the solar panels, so he doesn't really pay much of an electric bill.
Well, I'm not staying in a house because of solar panels, though. I mean, I just want him to could he get a place for $800,000, $900,000? Is he on his own?
No, it's him and my stepmom and then my sister as well. She's just finishing up the last couple of years of high school.
Yeah, but they don't need all the space, is what you're saying. It's a giant house, it sounds like.
Correct, yeah. And then we're eventually going to be having to move up in house in a couple of years. So my husband and I were thinking we would move up in house in a couple of years.
The problem is you're at the whim of his decisions with his property after you've put in $340,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that just feels like it's going to get messy.
Okay, even if we sat down and got if we were to end up selling the house, we would always leave with the amount that we put in.
Potentially, but even then, that's not an appreciating asset. I'd rather you get in a house where the house is increasing in value instead of you just getting your piece back.
What happens? Yeah. What happens to the estate when he passes? I'm assuming he's thought through this and has got this in writing. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Who gets the house?
It's my sister and I that we would be splitting, basically his assets.
Which, to split it, you guys would need to sell it to get money, correct?
Yeah, or he has other investments outside of the home. He has his retirement and some other stocks and stuff like that he has. So
it's just really messy, Melissa. Do you feel it?
I think that it's hard to let go because like I said, we're thinking of moving into a bigger house and we can have a 5-back because the house that we live in now is only 1,200 square feet. And that's my husband and I, and then our 2 boys. So we would eventually move into something bigger. And if we can move into a bigger house.
Yeah, but you're moving into a place with family members. Now we're all one big happy family. Woo!
Are you guys debt free?
We don't get along. No, we have. Obviously we have the house, and then we have $60,000 on a student loan.
Okay, here's my plan for you. You have an emergency fund or savings?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the baby steps would tell you, let's throw all the money at the debt except $4,000. Let's clean up this student loan. Let's get the fully funded emergency fund. Then let's start saving up for our next house. So that's what I would be doing. And maybe you could put $400 down once you sell this house and get a $700,000 house that would be more suitable for your family. So I'm going to run my own path. I'm not going to mess with the whole family estate piece. It just feels too messy. That's just my take. Appreciate the call. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. Thank you to my co-host, Ken Coleman, to Austin and Will and James and Zach and Andrew in the booth, and you, America. Appreciate you guys listening in. Until the next time, spend wisely, save intentionally, and give outrageously. Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.